man? It's your boy Wall Street Shooter, and this is a training video, y'all. Have you ever used the Fibonacci retracement tool? Are you familiar with the Fibonacci retracement tool? Have no fear. I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna give it to you raw and straight uncut. I'm also gonna explain how I used it last night, 7/25, that's July 25, and bought some cryptocurrency. The Fibonacci tool is by far one of the most powerful tools when you're talking about understanding where your resistance and your support levels is. But anyway, let's get into it. We're looking at a chart. We're on tradingview.com. I like to use TradingView when I'm doing cryptocurrency. Obviously, you know, I use TD Ameritrade to trade stocks, and unfortunately you can't buy cryptocurrency on TD Ameritrade. Unfortunately, fortunately, I guess. So I use I like to use TradingView to plot a majority of my cryptocurrencies. As you can see, I got a long list of watch list of cryptocurrencies, and I made some buys last night. The market was selling off. I had some dry powder, some USDT and USDC, and I decided to fill some positions that have not touched in a while or have been buying slowly but surely. And I'm going to kind of talk to you guys how I did so using the Fibonacci retracement tool. But before I actually show you the Fibonacci retracement tool, let's talk about what it is. Now, I'm going to get straight to the point because this is a mathematical equation, and honestly, y'all, I don't know how they came up with it. I can read it to you, but I'd rather not. If you want to learn more about the Fibonacci, as far as like the theory behind it, who is Fibonacci and all that stuff, I'll leave a link in the chat and you can go research it on your own. I'm just going to give you the straight uncut, straight to the point, what the Fibonacci is, what the golden ratio is, and how I use it. All right, let's get it. All right, so real quick, Fibonacci retracement rotation is a horizontal line that indicates areas of support and resistance, right? Like straight to it. Like there's no sugar, there's no witchcraft behind it, nothing. It's a tool that helps you find areas of support and resistance. If you don't know what support and resistance is, I have a video that I created. I'll put the card up here and you can go click and watch that and learn how I plot support and resistance. Okay, let's get it. So you have 5 different lines starting from a 0% all the way up to 100%, and in between you have 61.8, 50%, 38%, and even 70, what's that other number? 76%. So those are different levels of support. Now, these not necessarily mean, and I'll show you in a chart, doesn't mean that the stock price or crypto price has retraced to this percentage, right? These are Fibonacci numbers, right? And all is going to make sense when we get into it. Golden ratio is very important, especially when you're doing technical analysis. The golden ratio is considered to be the 38.2 level, the 50% level, and the 61.8 levels. Typically, this is translated into these 3 percentages. Some people consider 23, 161, and 423 to be also golden as well too. All of this is going to make sense in about 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, so we're back in TradingView, right? So we understand what Fibonacci retracement is. We know that it helps you plot support and resistance. We know they have these magical golden ratio numbers. Let's kind of talk about it and look at the chart. So yesterday or last night, I actually bought some Polkadot, Avalanche, Solana, and also some ADA or Cardano. So I'm going to show you guys, and I talked to y'all guys in the Discord chat. And if you're not in the Discord, the link is in the bio. Join the Discord. We talk about stocks, crypto staking, crypto mining, option trading, long-term trading for both cryptos and stock. And if you want to be a part of a community of like-minded people, have no fear. We are where you want to be at. You feel me? Sorry, guys. I'm over here looking at some live trades that I'm in and making sure I'm good to go. Got to always counting up the money. You feel me? Okay. My Google trade is still good. We actually ripping off right now. Sweet. All right. So Fibonacci retracement. If you're using TradingView, all you need to go to is onto your left-hand side here, and I have it right here. Fibonacci retracement. And I have this saved. So on TradingView, you can save this to your favorites. I just save it to my favorites, so I have easy access to it right on this nice little drop-down menu or this side menu right here on the left-hand side. So when you're using a Fibonacci retracement tool, how you use it correctly, it's very simple. You want to start from the bottom of the move and retrace to the top, the very high point. So you want to kind of, let me close this out before we, Let me get rid of that real quick. So basically what I'm saying, and this works on both ends. If the move moves from top to bottom, you start from the top to the bottom, and so on, so on. So in this case, we want to look at where this price action began to rise, right? And we want to take the bottom of the move. Now, we don't want to start here because this was the bottom of the move for this high. This bottom of the move for this high. We want to do kind of current, right? What's going on now? So we had this bottom here where this demand zone started. And you can see this price action starting to push up and create these highs right here. So we want to retrace and get an idea of what support levels could this price pull back to for potentially buying opportunities. So we want to start at the lowest point, right? You pick a low point and you want to retrace all the way to the top. Now I want to bring this over, right? So we have this 100% line, that gray line, and I'm going to drop it off right there, right? So you want to take, let's make this a little bit more bigger so you can see. So you want to take the bottom of the move, which is here, right? This is when the move started. We had a supply area, a nice little bounce, and then we started pushing to a new high. And then you want to take the secondary line, which is your 100% line, that gray line right there. You want to put it right at the top, right? You want to try to get it as spot on as possible. It might be off a little bit, but you'll be all right, right? You got the gist of it. So now what you want to do is let's talk about the numbers on the right hand side. So you got your 0% line, and it has your 0% line, and it shows you the price as well, $16.51. Your 23.60, 38.20%. Then you start getting into these golden numbers, 28.20, 38.20, 50%, and 61. Those are considered your golden ratio, this middle area right here. Then you have your 78.60, and then your 100%, right? Again, these are not percentiles of lost or gained percentage, right? So it's not like, oh, this price action moved from 0 to 100% here. That's not the case. Again, this is a mathematical equation to kind of show you where the retracement happens, where you can have an opportunity to buy. If you want to see what that percentile look like, you have a price range tool here, and we can go from the bottom to the top, and this from that bottom low to that top high, that was a 60% move. As you can see, it does not line up with the Fibonacci retracement tool, right? 60% move was created there, right? Which is excellent. We actually got into that 60% move anyways. Okay, so we're selling off. So this is perfect. So last night, and let me pull it up verbatim into the chat. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to kind of read this to y'all. All right, so last night I bought Avalanche at 1:24 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I mentioned in the chat that I did what I like to call is a bookmark buy. And basically, I did this bookmark bar for the sake of this video too. So I bought Avalanche last night, roughly about, it was $21.34 last night. And so I had this bookmark buy just for this video in a sense, because I wanted to kind of use it as a timestamp. Also, a bookmark buy is when you're just putting and this is my lingo. This is where you actually buy into a play to kind of bookmark it, to know, okay, I necessarily didn't put my initial investment in, but I wanted to have it in my portfolio. So when I open up my portfolio, I'm like, okay, cool. I got a little ETH, I got a little DOT, I got a little Solana, et cetera, et cetera. So you know, like, okay, I have it in my portfolio and I can start allocating some funds to it. So last night, I bought Avalanche on crypto.com. Majority of my Avalanche I've shipped over onto my ledger, but I did a bookmark, bought one Avalanche as a bookmark at $21 and some change. And as I mentioned to you guys, I used the retracement tool. And my biggest thing was, let's see, let's find this 21. So I was right here at this 50% retracement level, right? This 21, let's just say 21.47 is when I bought it. And I looked at overall price action. I saw it was a heavy sell-off day on the 25th of July, which was yesterday. And I didn't want to put too much of my initial budget knowing that we were going to continue to sell off. And I did not want to catch a falling knife, right? And as you can see today, we are continuing to sell off. as I mentioned in the chat, I wanted to start looking at this or buying more Avalanche at $18. How did I get to that $18? Well, as you can see, the amount of volume, selling pressure that was happening yesterday, I knew we was going to have a continuation. Even though the stocks are having catalysts in regards to earnings, that affects the crypto market as well as the Fed talks as well too. So I wanted to kind of set a little bookmark spot into my portfolio to get in. And then I wanted to revisit today or tomorrow and see if we get into this $18 range. So right now we're at 1971. So if I was to buy right now, I am doing what we always talk about, dollar cost averaging back down based off the Fibonacci retracement tool. We are already surpassing that 20% golden ratio here, and we're starting to retrace back to this 2360 area, which I set a actual buy order for Avalanche to pick up a little bit more. So if we hit this 18 level, I'm probably going to end up buying about 5 more, maybe 10 more Avalanche. And then I'm going to kind of look back and see maybe we might retrace all the way back to the beginning of the move and get down into the 16s. If that's the case, then obviously I'm going to buy double of what I bought at 18. So that's kind of like how I use the Fibonacci retracement tool. Like I always tell you guys, especially in crypto has about 80% swings from going up or down. We know from this start of the move, this is a 60% move. There's nothing stopping crypto from going from a 60% move to a 60 to even a 80, even or 100% decline. You know, crypto's very volatile. It's kind of hard to understand why it's so volatile, but just know that it is, right? So. Sorry guys, checking on my Google Play real quick. So as we looking right now, we're selling off 1971 right now. Let me kind of break this down to 1 hour. Maybe we even got into the 18s. We haven't, not yet, but we're definitely creating bull flags, and we're popping back right now. We use the 3820 for support. It is now our resistance, right? And we've retested that resistance and rejected that. So depending on how much selling pressure is, we can definitely start, we can definitely start pushing down into these 18s. And I'm definitely going to be looking as a buyer in 18 to load up my Avalanche bag. For personal, I believe in Avalanche, beautiful blockchain, layer 1. Do your own research. I'm not here to tell you to buy, sell, or hold Avalanche. I personally have plenty of Avalanche on a cold wallet, and I'm looking to grab more on this beautiful Walmart sales that's going on. So that's how I used it for Avalanche. And I want to kind of explain that to you guys from last night, because I was doing a lot of writing into the Discord and kind of letting you guys know. So let's go look at another cryptocurrency that I'm currently holding and very bullish on. That's been on freaking discount as well too. Polkadot. For those who are not familiar with Polkadot, I'll drop some resources in the Discord chat. You can kind of go back and kind of go look over it. I'll do another video talking about Polkadot. I'm very bullish on Polkadot. Been very bullish on Polkadot since last year. This particular buy, this particular Fibonacci retracement was perfect for me last night. When you're buying cryptocurrency and you get into, or let's say diversifying your portfolio, you kind of forget about certain plays. And I'm not going to say I forgot about Polkadot, but it's more so I didn't take the opportunity to dollar cost average in the Polkadot. And the reason why is because I bought Polkadot last year around 12, I'll say between 12 and $15. And Polkadot ran off about to $52. Yeah, all-time high is like $55. Let me see, be a little more accurate. 55 bucks, depending on what app you're looking at, if it's USD or USC or whatever app it is. Based off of here, it's like $55. So I ended up buying Polkadot around these levels here back in July of last year. And I took a lot of profits when it got into this 50 range. I still hold a bag of Polkadot, but I never read back up. And as you can see, if we were to look at this from a retracement standpoint, and I'll do it the reverse way, because we did it from the bottom of the move to the top of the move. This time we're going to do it from the top of the move all the way I'll even do this to the bottom of the move, right? As you can see, we've pretty much retraced. You can see where we already passed it. Let me take a step back. The golden ratios, they're still the same. 61, 50, 38. It's just flipped, right? Because we're looking at it from a down trading price action going on the downside. So the golden ratio numbers are still the same. 61, 80, 50, 68. And you can actually see when this price action started to sell off, we popped and hit 50 as a good resistance level and rejected it twice, and kind of bounced between 50 and 61 Fibonacci retracement percentage for support and resistance. And then we failed 61, retest, held 78, retest 61, failed to break through, and then failed support at 68. So you can kind of see how the Fibonacci retracement is perfect for identifying support and resistance levels, especially if you're long-term buying on the daily chart. I didn't mention that in the beginning. It's important to use this tool, especially if you're buying long-term holds on the daily chart, daily or the weekly chart. This thing works. The Fibonacci retracement tool works like a gem. You can use it on an hour, 4 hour, 30, etc. But if you're in the long-term buys, you always want to look at your daily and your weekly. So let's get back into it. My bad. I digress. So yeah, as you can see, rejected golden levels, got into the 78, and then pretty much just retraced all the way back down here. So that's the overall picture, right? So last night, I used the tool on a more short term to kind of find out where I wanted to buy. And let's do this, and then I'll zoom in. Boop. It's so weird using Thinker or Trading View after using Thinkorswim so much. All right, so I used it on a smaller scale. Again, I'm watching it late last night. I jumped in and bought about 20 polka dots. But the sweet thing about this is that, again, I bought between that 12 and 13, 12 or $15 back in July. Now I was able to jump in, and I didn't want to jump in heavy, right? I was dollar cost averaging, but I didn't want to just jump in with the entire budget, just because the price of my overall bag will be coming down tremendously since I took profits from last year. But I bought in between this, what was it? I would say this $7 price. As a matter of fact, it was $7.77 last night. And I set another key buy below this 23.6, below $6.55. I personally think we'll probably retrace anywhere between $6.30, maybe even come back to $6 even. I'm being patient. I see that there's a lot of selling volume going on here. Supply is definitely kicking in. You see this big price action right here. I'm very patient, and I'm using this Fibonacci retracement tool to kind of find my buy points as well. So honestly, if you look at the fib and you have a hard time finding support and resistance without the fib, this is a good way for you to kind of build out your support and resistance line when you're charting. Even if you're seasoned, and if you want to kind of go over and look and see how close you are to these Fibonacci retracement percentages or support and resistance, that might be a good way to kind of, cover your six as well too. Because, ideally it's all about making sure you get the best levels for entry and outry, right? Getting in at a low price, selling at a high price. Name of the game, baby. Buy low, sell high. And it just repeat nonstop. So I was able to get into Polkadot, bought a nice size bag. I'm going to buy more if we fail this 2360 percentile resistance level. We fail that, I'm jumping back in, and I'm going to double up what I bought initially. And then I'm just going to kind of patiently and kind of reevaluate and see if this has the opportunity to get into the 5 range. We got some good support levels here at $6.55. As you can see, we tested this, bounced, tested, bounced, test, bounce, broke it, got down to the $6 5 cent range, held, broke through from support to resistance, came back, and now we're testing it again. So I want to see if we hold, and maybe I might pick up some here and see if we bounce, retest this 50 or 38, and then push through. And those are the options you have when you have support and resistance. You can kind of figure out how to buy into plays instead of blindly just buying in. You now have some technical analysis to support your decisions. That's the most important thing. Let's swing over to ADA. Already forgot to get rid of that from last night. Again, same sentiment, nothing changed. We got our bottom of our move. We got the top of our move. The bottom here started about 40 cent. ADA kind of ripped off and got into that 55 cent range. And now, it dipped, retested a tad bit, and started selling off. Major supply zone here. So we looking at it can possibly start moving down into this 42 range. So let's go ahead and retrace this out, get a better idea of what those resistance and support levels look like. Again, got our 100% here at our high, and we've already retraced back to 38.20, which is a golden ratio, right? And we're showing supply. Major sell-off on ADA. Obviously, if you got into this play at 39 cent, pushed up to damn near 55 cent, them good profits right there. Them some good profits. So can we push down to this 43 and maybe even retrace to the 39%? Absolutely. Definitely has the capability. The market is pretty much in shambles in all directions, crypto and stock market. And, this is a good buying opportunity if you believe in ADA, right? Me personally, I'm going to be buying more ADA. I have a certain amount of goal for ADA, and plus I'm putting some away for my kids. So the goal is double. I want personally 5,000 ADA, so I need to have 10,000 ADA so I can give them 2,500 each. You know what I'm saying? You know the name of the game, baby. Generational wealth. So I digress, and let's get back on track. So yeah, as you can see, it's retracing back to 38.20. I want to buy a little bit more. I bought some last night around that 46 range. So I want to see this thing come down to 43 and maybe even crack these 30s. 30s will be a little bit better than 43. If you're looking at 46, between 46 and 43 in cents, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, your dollar cost average is not going to be any more different. When I get into the 30% range, then we're talking a little bit different. So I'll be watching it for that with ADA. And then I got into Solana. Fun fact, Solana was actually named after Solana Beach here in San Diego. The guys who started it used to work for Qualcomm, and they used to take lunches over there. And so they named the project Solana. Fun fact for those who ever go on Jeopardy and they might get that question. All right, we'll do it again. Found the low of the move, right here. Big demand zone, push the price. We find the high of that move, right? And then you can see this big boy. Let's so we can see it a little bit better. There we go. That should be better. All right, so we got our low of the move, which was at $31.89. It popped all the way up to $47.93. I actually bought some profits. I took some profits off of that move. So just shout out to them boys over there in Solanaville. And then you can kind of see it just retrace. We hit our golden rate. Wait, I did something wrong, guys. Ain't nobody called me out. There we go. I did not put it on 100%. Tripping. All right, so we moved up to about $47.69, retraced. You can see it's come back to the 78.6 area, which was like $44. And then we kind of just found ourselves a little channel. As you can see, these are bear flags being created, bear flags and pennants. And then we got kind of spicy here in this 50% range and just had a massive sell-off. I mean, big boys sell-off. I mean, this move opened at $40 and got as low as $36.50. So, about $4 sell-off yesterday. So I bought a few yesterday, and I set up an automatic buy below $33, which we're looking about right in here in this zone. Can we push back to 31? Absolutely. You can see we have some support levels here at $30.85. So we can definitely push back to be below this 32.50 and test these support levels here. We are making, on the big picture of it, let's kind of look at that because there's more than just that technical. Now let's get rid of this Fibonacci. All right. We are trading in a channel here, right? We do got this channel. We got a nice support line here on the trend. It did break. It did break the trend, but you can see it was kind of heavy, right? Multiple touches, rejections, pushing up, making higher highs, and maybe we might start making some lower highs and lower lows. We'll see. We'll see. And maybe we'll test this 30 and maybe even come back and test this 25. Regardless, I'm a dollar cost average, not throwing the whole budget in because we don't want to catch the falling knife. Because if I was to throw, let's say my budget for Solana for this particular move was $1,000 and I throw $1,000 in, and it has another $4 sell off and then another $5 set off and then another $1 set off, that's $10 of price action just sold off. I'm losing money. I lost money. And now my budget's gone. So therefore, I'm just stuck holding the bag, right? So you want to kind of be strategic and make sure that you dollar cost average into the play and not throw the whole, the whole sink at it. You feel me? And you can watch, my support and resistance and how to buy the dip video on that. So yeah, bought into Solana. What else? I believe those are the only ones I bought. Let me double check. Real quick. So yeah, I bought Avalanche. I bought DOT. I bought ADA and I bought Solana. So those are my buys from late last night, about 12:50 a.m. It started buying those cryptocurrencies. And I was using, I like to use the Fibonacci retracement. I know I haven't talked to you guys about that. There are different trading strategies for day traders or even swing traders that they use the Fibonacci with. Please go watch those videos. I just use it very simply, or I just use it to simply. I use it to, I basically shows you how I use it. If you want more advanced way to use the fib or a better understanding or a deeper theory behind, again, there's plenty. I'll drop a link in the Discord where you can learn about the Fibonacci retracement tool and get the whole mathematics and learn about who is Fibonacci and why he came up with it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And just go from there, always further educate yourself. Just don't take whatever I put out or any of the traders on here, what they put out. Further educate yourself always be open to learn more. That's the most important thing, right? So yeah, that's the Fibonacci retracement tool in the most simplest form possible and how I use it and how I used it last night. This works on stocks too. I'll do one quick stock because this video is kind of long. Let's look at let's look at Bay. And if you know who Bay is, that's SPA. Same thing, as you can see. The low of the move, we got the high. Bring out the tool. We get that low where it started. And then we hit it right, that gray line, that 100% on the high. All right. The low was about 370. We popped, got all the way back to 400. Big rejection. We know that's for real, right? If you're looking at my Thinkorswim or if you're in the Discord, I have this 400 level already plotted out without the fib, right? And that's what I'm saying. You can use this. If you're not too sure about plotting support and resistance, just, use the fib. It'll help you out. We know it tested that 400 reject, and now we're retracing back to this 6180 level, right? And so we'll kind of see if that rejects and get into this 50% level. Stock price action a little bit different than crypto. It's not that volatile, right? You don't see these big $20 sell-offs or $50 sell-offs or whatever the case may be. That's why we always look at things in percentages, right? We don't care about the dollar amount. It's all about percentages because that makes more sense. Sorry, guys, looking at my Google call. It's over here cooking. It's cooking. So yeah, you can use the fib on stocks, forex. You can use it on anything with a price action, right? It's just up to you to understand, that price at which which security in stocks or crypto project, understanding that price action, how it moves to make it make sense for you. So this thing can be used anywhere. All right, so that's it. Hopefully you enjoy this breakdown of the Fibonacci retracement. If you want more content like this, let me know in the comment section. As always, I appreciate you pulling up and watching the video from the kid. And if I earned you a like, please like the video. If you think your partners and your baby mamas and baby daddies think they need this information so they can be better investors, please share it on all platforms. I truly appreciate it. And if you want to stay up on game and be part of the Earners Club on YouTube, hit the notification bell. I post content pretty much all week, throughout the week, especially my trading review content as well, from trades that I take. And then if you want to join the Discord, the link is in the bio as well. I have 4 different tiers there. You pay what you feel is necessary because it is based off a monthly subscription. And you can cancel anytime. So you're not held hostage. You can cancel. And yeah, be an earner. Because we doing crypto, we do stocks, we do crypto mining, we do crypto staking, we do long term. And I'm going to talk more about dividends and et cetera, et cetera. So pretty much everything in the investment world, we're doing it. And again, it's you join a like-minded community, very tight knit. And yeah, we all trying to reach the same goals: financial freedom and create generational wealth. And yeah, that's what we on. So I appreciate you. Hope everybody have a good and safe day. This is Wall Street Shooter, and this is not financial advice. Peace.